You gotta start off on a laugh, man. It gotta be, you get all extra quiet.
Because I thought you.
But it's crazy though. It's like,
I thought you were gonna go into your whole spiel.
talking for 15 minutes, and then all of a sudden, I'm push record.
I thought you was gonna go right into the jewel. That's why I didn't.
No, I've never gone right into the jaw, ever. It's too much pressure. All right. Goodness gracious. You can't be weird because it's gonna make me weird, and nobody wants that. Yeah. All right. Fine. Everybody settle down. All right. Are we ready? Making a funny face. He was making a funny face too. That was part of it. He was making a funny face, so it make me, I'm like, what's going on? Why are you holding your breath?
I mean, I'm trying to be serious. You know, I'm silly. You like.
But it's all right to be silly. But we got to be serious. It's okay to be silly. I mean, ain't nothing serious about this podcast.
Oh man.
Until we get serious later. All right. Welcome to DM Therapy, guys. This is our podcast that we do all the time, and you guys love it. So, yes, Khadijah and I, and we are friends, and we like to talk to each other on multiple platforms all at once. And we said, hey, let's record it and give it to the people because they're going to like it. And now it's here for you guys to consume and enjoy. The end. All right. Good night. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for coming out. Good night.
Yeah, thanks for coming out. God bless and good night. What's up with you? How you doing? How you feeling?
I mean, I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to live my life or whatever like that.
Chilling. Get this money. You know what I'm saying?
Hustling.
Hustling and also bustling.
Yes.
Word.
Hustling and then bustling immediately after.
How are you? In that direct order. Hustling and then bustling. I never bustled before I hustled.
Never bustle before you hustle.
I don't bustle before I hustle. Some people be out there bustling without no hustle. And I'm like, right? Listen, you bustling, but I don't see no hustle.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all. All right. Well, I guess that's where this is going today. It's because this is what happens when we do it before I get to go to sleep. Oh, this happened last time. I felt like before I lay down for a second, I need an afternoon nap. I'm like a little kid.
Yeah.
I need an afternoon nap so I can settle myself. You know what I'm saying? I've been outside. Everybody outside. It's all nice outside. I ain't been down Northern Liberties in years, kind of in this time of day. So it was just back and forth, everybody all around. I've been attacked on the internet for the last 3 days.
Oh yeah, I forgot you went viral.
I went internet viral. I'm an internet troll apparently. So it's just it's been crazy out in these streets, Yeah. But let's get into it. You said you did have a question or no?
I have a question. But did you want to do what you rather first?
Ease into it? Yeah, let's ease into it.
Well, no, we could. I mean, if you want, we could go straight to the question.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? I'm down with it. We don't have to would you rather. Everybody gonna be like, oh, we could play would you rather at home. I come to you guys for the hard hitting journalism.
Hard hitting journalism.
Yeah.
All right, so the question is, what is your definition of cheating? What do you consider cheating in a relationship?
Cheating. Cheating. So, I don't know. We were talking, I feel like you had sent me something, and it's so funny. I feel like every clip that you send me, somehow the person is talking all this stuff, blah, 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 and it don't make no sense. And then in the last 3 seconds of the clip, they say something that is actually poignant. And I'm like, how can anybody really grab anything from any of this stuff? But the one guy in that one clip you sent me, he was like, if you go outside of the agreement. So I like that. if you because if you're in a relationship and you guys have set parameters to your relationship, but I don't think a lot of people do, but because I feel like there's a lot of unspoken like handshaking and stuff. Like, yeah, well, this is what being together means. But I think you should make an agreement and stick to that agreement. If you go outside of that agreement, then you've cheated. Um, I'm trying to think if there's anything to poke holes in that into that theory, because it's like some people think like thoughts are cheating. Some people think um, like flirtation is cheating. I don't have a whole bunch of experience with it. Like the times in my life where I've been accused of cheating, like I've been like flirtatious. I've been like or I've been like on my way out of a relationship. The person just don't know that I that I am, like, you know what I mean. So it's like for the last like 2 months, because I'm not really confrontational. So for the last
Mm-hmm.
2 months, I've been trying to decide whether or not I'm going to be in this relationship anymore. So then I start, floating everywhere else, like, I start.
Mm-hmm.
I open myself back up to the world. That's how you say it
Yeah.
in a hippy dippy way. But so I just kind of open myself back up, and like I said, the times that I've been accused of like being unfaithful or whatever, it's been stuff like that where I'm like, oh, this person has captured my attention more than because when I'm in a relationship, I kind of just dead everything. Like, I mean, it's just like everything outside, even like, which is not a great thing, but sometimes even like my work that I'm doing, it's like, cause I'd be so content, I'd be so chill inside the thing. I just shut everything down. So like, I don't be seeing other women in the way that I see them, like how I see them like now, where it's just like, oh, maybe that's a potential partner or whatever, whatever. When I'm in a relationship, I have like tunnel vision. So when sometimes that tunnel vision starts lifting, when I know it's time to get out of a relationship. So um, for me, and I've never been admitted to uh face to face that somebody said, "Oh, I've cheated on you," or I was seeing somebody else um, while I was with you. But you know, I know who you are, and you know who you are. That we know things that's going on out there, so
But
and so. But
so, do you think like it's a way? Well, first of all, would you stay before I even answer this question? If somebody cheat on you, would you stay?
so somebody just asked me. Oh, so I put up all these questions on the Instagram, and one
Yes.
of them is like one. Yeah, I don't know why I talk like old timey. I don't know. I don't know. But
So I goes on the
so I
Instagram.
go. So I goes on the Instagram. I'm telling you, I'm trying to add my S's to everything now because I'm trying to imprint myself into the culture. Um. So yeah, one of them was like, "Would you stay if somebody cheated?" And I have a hard time with that because I am big on trust and honesty, and um so betrayal for me, and that's a betrayal to me, right? So betrayal to me cuts deep, like, because I'm such a trusting person, like from the rip. Did I say from the rip already? I feel like that's going to be my phrase of the day. But I'm a trusting person. I'm not like one of them people that you have to build trust with me. I trust you to be who you say you are in the beginning, and then that trust deteriorates as you prove to me that you are not what you say you are. So
Mhm.
once you do that, that's hard for me to come back from, like, and I could be a patient person, I could be a forgiving person, but once you have taken your word and, shook it around and made it not true or not the thing, it becomes hard for me. So there's one part of me that's like, no, I can't come back from that. Um, there's another part of me that thinks that or believes that love is not very linear, right? So you might be completely in love in April, you know what I'm saying? And then kind of it's faded and not as complete in May or whatever. So in that respect, I understand sometimes that there's a flow to it, like, oh, ups and downs and things like that. I mean, also, I've never really been in a relationship longer than like 3 years. So, that's to me, that's like kind of one cycle of uh the gamut of what relationships are. Like, you know what I mean? It's like it's not a long sample size. 3 years is a long time, but it's not a real long sample size to be like, oh man, when we hit that 10th year, it was really a struggle. No, it's just like
Mm-hmm.
3 years is, I feel like, the time that you either feel like you would get out or not. Like, which ultimately for me, that's usually what happens. It's time to go. But there's another side of me. So I listened to this guy, Pete Holmes. Shout out to Pete Holmes. Love to have you on the show, or love to be on your show. He's a comedian, and he's like, I would hate to deny the person that I love. So when I love, he says when he loves somebody, he's trying to learn how to love completely and love them completely. And what that means is you want the best outcome for them, the best thing for them, not what it means to you selfishly. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And so the scenario that he always says is like, I would hate for her to be in Paris, and meet a guy, and there be like this whole like movie kind of story, day long kind of romance thing happening, and she be thinking about like, oh, I have responsibilities at home with Pete, you know what I'm saying, or with Omar in this situation, and you know, he's saying I would want her to get the complete fulfillment out of that experience as opposed to her having to worry about what I'm doing at home. I would rather she not did that, but I also feel like there's a piece of me where I would want her to be able to act on and be completely her, So those are my three, my three, the three people struggling inside of my head. Like, so the second two kind of, I think, go together a little bit more, but um there's three, like, those people are, like I said, more hippy dippy, and then there's the one guy's like, no, that so and so
Yeah.
cheated on
I
me,
was
betrayed me.
asking the
Yeah.
reason why I asked you first, like, would you stay? Is because I feel like there are like different levels to cheating.
Okay.
Like, or and there's like a way that you cheat that is not
Mm.
um I'm not gonna say it's hurtful, but not as much of a betrayal to me. So like, for
Okay.
example, if you find out that, maybe she was out drinking, got drunk because maybe you
Hmm.
guys got in an argument, or maybe things have been rocky,
Hmm.
and she had a one night stand. That's one
Hmm.
thing. But if you found out that she had been talking to somebody for months and they're saying I love you, and
Yeah.
they're hanging out and she's like sharing things about you, I
Hmm.
think sometimes that's more hurtful. But I've heard people say the other one is more hurtful because it's like you put our relationship on the line for something that didn't matter. Um, so I just want to know like what your thoughts were on it, and then two, like you said earlier, there, some people feel like if you're anything that you do that you have to hide. So if it's a text message and you delete it, then you've cheated already.
Yeah, yeah, and I that's how I feel. It's like if you feel in some type of way internally, and the thing is I won't know how you're feeling about it. But if you have to keep it from me, then it's messed up. That don't mean to say, you know, you about to go out and be like, listen, I don't know what's going to happen tonight. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know, but that might be our relationship. I've been with people that we've had that relationship. I try to explore being poly a little bit in in the late 1960s, but it didn't work out for me because I don't think that's I don't think that's for me. But
Wait, you tried to be poly?
I so what what it was is realized that I had I'm attracted to wild women. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like hippies and, you know what I'm saying? And people that are kind of just more open and out there than I am. And for a good, you know, man, like 5 or 6 years, I was like, all right, well, let me lean into that, to the idea that I'm not going to stop you from, and you know, it's funny because I think it's gone along with my own evolution of understanding what love is. Like, you know, we get told what love is when we're young, or kind of what people think love is, and then you kind of have to find it on your own. And I'm gonna mess up who it's from, so I'm not gonna quote the person, but there's a quote that says you're supposed to love in a way where the other person feels free, and I've that's what I feel mostly. So I cannot lock you down to my own set of standards if I'm doing that, right? And so in that respect, I was really trying to lean into that. I was really trying to lean into the, well, listen, if this is what you need to do to feel free, then you do that, and I'm going to have to work on my own self, because another quote that I love is, you basically, that you're creating a space for love to reside, meaning like you are not the keeper of the other person's love. You're not the keeper of the other person's heart. You are just a home for it, in, you know, as you guys share it for each other, and you guys will be each other's home for that. And it's kind of the more spiritual way of saying, like, you make sure you live within the parameters of your relationship, right? So for me, if I go into it knowing that, you know, you've had a lot of partners, or you have expressed to me, somebody expressed to me, one of my old partners expressed to me, she was like, I don't feel like I'll ever be able to get everything I need from one person. So if we've had that conversation, I can't be like, well, you're going to get everything you need from me, girl. No, I'm not going to be like that. I can't do that. So yeah, like at that moment, I was trying to lean into, and I loved her, you know what I'm saying? I love her now. Like, you know, I loved her. So I wanted to make sure that I was, she caught me at a good time. Like, you know, she caught me at a evolutionary time in my life where I was like, hey, and I don't think she really did a whole bunch of exploring, because even though I'm trying to be as spiritual and evolved as I can, like I said, I still want it to be that the freedom is the thing that makes you come home. Like, you know, but you know, I couldn't back down on it. I couldn't be like, oh, well, be free, but if you do something crazy, I'm gonna be upset, you know. So I was trying that. And you know, over the last 10 years, you know, poly life has been, you know, making a come up. It got some good PR. So I was trying to I was trying to dabble a little bit in that. And you know, the other side of it is, it's not like one way. I was like, oh, I'd like to probably build relationships, because the one big fear about uh being monogamous is you're never going to be able to build something like that with another person, and that's scary. Like, you know, so on my end, I was like, well, this way I can have somebody that I love, and also the potential to build more other relationships, in whatever way that we decide or that I choose. So it's very appealing, but as I was doing it, I just realized, and this is over the course of two or three relationships. I just realized it's just not for me. Like, I am a monogamous minded person. So, I want to be a unit of a relationship, and I want to do it with one person ultimately. So, but I had to go through that phase to kind of see, because like I said, it seems very appealing. Like, it seems very alluring, that lifestyle. And I know a lot of people at least claim that they really enjoy it. So, I was like, all right, well, let's see if I'm into it. Why are you making that face?
No, I'm saying a lot of people are doing it and don't even know. Like, you can't, you're in a situation like that and don't even know. So I don't know. I think the older I get, I don't know. It's just so weird for me. Like, I am very loyal until I'm not. Like, as long as you don't give me a reason to not be loyal,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm very loyal. But once you do that, I don't know how to stop. So even if I forgive you and like we're still together because you cheated, it's
Mm-hmm.
very, very rare that I step out on a relationship first, even giving my attention to anybody else.
Yeah.
Um, I usually can't see anybody else,
Mm-hmm.
or even interested. But once you do,
Yeah.
it's like I don't care. Like, I know for a fact you cheated on me one time. And I've already cheated on you 7 times now because. Um, but I feel like a lot of people are in those relationships. Like, you think that that's your man or that's your woman, and then they have somebody on the side anyway. So if
Mm-hmm.
that's the type of person that you are, and you want multiple partners, I think it's important to say that. Just like you said, what she said to you, and then give the other person the opportunity to be like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know, but sometimes those poly relationships they seem one sided though, because I've seen one though where it wasn't, but like if that one person has two partners,
Yeah.
those two people only have one partner. Typically, they don't have each other. Like if it's two guys and a woman, the guys
Mm-hmm.
aren't messing around, so it's
Right.
one sided on her part. I think that's kind of not fair because they don't go out and get other relationships, so I don't know, but I
Yeah.
would
I
love
mean,
to have like brother husbands. Like I could do. I could.
yeah.
Remember, I could have two
Yeah.
husbands. What? You fix this,
Yeah.
you fix that, you working and all
Mhm.
that kind of stuff. And I could have a sister wife too. Like if she like to clean, I'll
Yeah.
cook. You good with the kids,
That's
but
so
we just
interesting.
live in the same house. That's all.
You said you can't live in the same house?
Mm-mm. I
Well,
wouldn't
how
want to live
come?
in the same house. Cause then you got somewhere to send the kids. Like go to your other mom's house with your dad, and y'all go over there. And I have the house to myself. I feel like having a sister wife
But who
helps.
kids? But who kids are they?
It don't even matter. You take all the
Oh,
kids.
oh, you just get them all.
You take my kids. You take the kids you had with him. You get all the kids.
Oh my goodness, that don't
As
that
long as
don't,
he
that
can
don't feel
afford
right.
it. As
Yeah.
long as he can afford to take care of all of us.
Mm-hmm.
And then they give you a break. Like if he's really, you got one man, like he's really into you, he's gonna, give you a little break. He wants you all the time. You might need a break. Go
Yeah,
be
no,
with
I
her.
no, I
Don't
hear
live with
that,
her.
but it was just when you talking about getting all the kids and put them in a bus and send them
Yeah.
over to
Ship them
the next
off.
house, like
Bye.
busting loose.
Yeah.
Um, uh, hold up though, because you said a lot of stuff, but the one thing that you were saying, well, let's go back just a little bit, where you're like, if you cheat on me, like, so there is no coming back from it for you, from cheating.
I mean, there is. I've been cheated on and I've stayed many years after. But
Right, but what's
then,
the what's the strength of the relationship after that? Like, what's the?
um, so I mean, I can really only speak to my last two
Mm-hmm.
because the other ones, I don't know if it was ever established that this is a. It's kind of like what you said. We're together, so it's just implied that, but it was
Yeah.
never established. But like my two marriages, like the first one, I didn't know that I was being cheated on, and when I did know, I kind of was already halfway out, so like I had already kind of shut down, so it didn't really matter. Um, but with this last one, um, I think if after the cheating he would have been like better to me, maybe. Like I still got had to get my lick back because I like
Yeah.
immediately, like soon as I found out it was official that he cheated, I immediately cheated back, and
Yeah.
that might just be the
So
Scorpio revenge thing in me, like immediately. And then I
so
was like, all right,
let
cool.
me ask you this though. How did you do that so immediately?
Oh, 'cause I went back to do I want to tell my business on here?
Oh,
I
I was
went
about to
I
say,
went to somebody that was
oh,
an
you went to
ex.
somebody that was familiar.
Right.
You was there
Yeah. Like
because
I didn't have any new roster people to go
okay,
to. I just
no,
went to
because I feel like that's a part of it that's not really talked about a lot because it's like oh, would Beyonce say like I could have another you in a minute or something like that. Like I
yeah.
feel like a lot of times people do have people like just waiting in the wings, like and is that cheating? Do you think that's cheating?
Yeah, I do. I
You
think
do?
if it's somebody that the door is still open and you know the door is open,
Mm-hmm.
it depends though. Like for
Okay.
me, it was a recent ex. I'll say that.
Okay.
And if you
Mm-hmm.
people want to mind my business, they're smart enough, they would know.
Yeah.
But because it was a recent ex and it was, a long relationship, it's
Mm-hmm.
not like I had to, like we were in contact because of the things that we had,
Yeah.
collectively.
Mm-hmm.
If I never had that relationship, I wouldn't, like, if it wasn't for that person, I wouldn't have been able to I wouldn't have had nobody. Like, I'd have had to go out
Okay.
and
Yeah.
find somebody.
All
He
right.
just happened to be around, you know what I mean?
Available.
Because
Yeah.
he had to
Mm-hmm.
be.
But
Um,
but did he know? Was he just sitting there waiting for a chance? Though That's the question. That's the juicy question. I mean, you don't have to answer that neither. But
I mean, I don't know. He might have been. He might have been like, yes. I don't
yeah,
know.
because I have a weird there are several women out there. No, there are a couple of women that I've loved in my lifetime where, especially in the beginning of relationships. I don't know if you have anybody like this, but in the beginning of relationships, they don't care that I'm in a relationship. They be like, "You're mine," and whatever. Like what I'm saying, you can say that you're doing all this stuff, but I'm gonna be in your DM. I'm gonna text you, and basically they'll be kind of fishing to see how serious I am about the person. Like in my last relationship, I kind of had to go through all of those people and kind of like shut it down. Like, no, I am trying to do this with this person, so we can't be all like this, no, no more. But I also entertained a lot of that because it's like sometimes if it's not going to be, or you can feel pretty early on if it's not going to be super serious or whatever. So, and I like the idea that somebody is sitting there jealous of what I might be getting into or whatever. I don't know if it's like that no more anymore. I ain't been in a relationship in a while, but excuse me, but yeah, I had to shut some of that stuff down because and I don't know if I consider that. I guess I would consider that cheating. Like what I mean, where I mean I don't know. I'm very respectful, so I don't be trying to do nothing crazy or say nothing crazy. But I will take the attention. Like,
Like
I'll be
if
attention cheating like a mug.
somebody is waiting on you, that's
Mm-hmm.
not cheating. But if you know the person is feeling you like that, and they're
Yeah,
in, y'all conversations, they're making little,
yeah.
they're flirting and they're
Mm-hmm.
making suggestions and things like that, and then you get into a situation with the person that you're with and you go to them. I kind of think like you build up to that.
Yeah,
Um,
no, and yeah, I
so,
agree.
but if somebody's just sitting around like, man, when she mess
Yeah,
up, you
yeah,
know, you're not entertaining it. I don't think that is, but I think almost everybody has like at least one person that they could, and if something went down, that they could call up,
yeah.
and just be like, "What's up with the what's up?"
Yeah,
Um,
it's my
I don't know.
favorite. It's my favorite Khadijah phrase, by the way.
I don't know, but I think like it hurt more to know that when I found out that I was cheating on that, it was like a whole situation, like, I love yous and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
When I thought it was just a one time thing, I was kind of like, okay, maybe it's something happening, within our marriage that I didn't know about. It was kind of
Yeah.
early on. So I'm like, maybe we could figure it out and work through it. But I'm like, the whole it was like a whole relationship. I'm like, I don't know if I could come back from that. It was really hard. Like it was a very, very hard time for me. But I don't know. I just think now, like kind of flipping back to the poly thing, with the way the world is now, you don't have to cheat. Like you really can
Yeah.
just say,
Mm-hmm.
listen, this is what I'm into, or this is what I'm into now. I wasn't into that before, but I'm into this now, whatever, just to try to be more careful with people's feelings and emotions. Because why do
Yeah.
you stick around?
I think that cut out. What'd you say?
Why do you want to be sneaking around? Like
Right.
that's too much pressure to try to sneak and hide your
Yeah,
phone.
that's what I always say. That's why I never really been into it, and I'm too honest. Like, I'm too honest. I'm like, I cannot keep stuff like that where some, and then like that's the other thing about people accusing me of cheating. I'm always like, when would I be seeing somebody else? Because like I'm on the phone with you all day. When I'm not on the phone with you, I'm with you, whatever. But I also have I will admit that I have a naivete about that culture, because people would be like they were completely blindsided by the fact that they were cheated on. So that means the person is finding a way. Like, what I mean, they could be being with them all the times that I say that I'm with my person and still find a way to be in a in love relationship with somebody else. So I'm out of my depth when I talk about that, because I'm not in that culture. I'm not, I don't know. People might have been cheating on me, what I'm saying, with the same kind of that same kind of frequency and that same kind of secrecy. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, but
Yeah.
I don't kind of live in that space, so I don't I don't really know. But so I so you're asking, is there a no, you're asking, would you take the person back? But do you think that there's a reason? Why do people cheat? That's what I want to know.
I used to think there were reasons why people cheated. Okay, I'm
Mm-hmm.
cheat. Well, I kind of still do,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm learning more that people cheat because they cheat. Like you are, that's what
You're a
you
cheater.
did. Right, you're just a cheater
Mm-hmm.
because there were other options. Like if you weren't happy in your relationship, you could have left. You could have had a
Mm-hmm.
conversation. You could have did a whole lot of things other than cheating.
Yeah.
But you chose to cheat. You chose to be sneaky. You didn't have to do those things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think people cheat because people just cheat, and people are dishonest, and people are selfish because you still want the relationship that you have,
Mm-hmm.
and then you want to, do something else. And
So,
then, but I don't know. Like I know, anytime I've ever done that,
mhm,
it was a reaction to something that was done to me first. But the
right, it
same
was in
thing,
retaliation.
right? But
So
the
you
same
never, so you
time,
never cheated on nobody first.
one time, and I've regretted it my whole entire life,
Oh,
like my
okay.
whole entire life, for damn near 20 years now. Um,
So, do you want to talk about why you did it though? And do you think that you're a cheater?
I did it because I think I was just scared. I was young. I was scared to get
Mm-hmm.
married, and I just needed like an out. Um, do I think I'm a cheater? Kinda, sorta. I'll say yes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I don't cheat just to cheat. Like I will cheat in retaliation, but like I said, the older I get, it's like it's pointless because if the other person doesn't know that you cheated, did you really get the revenge that you want? Like,
Right.
you know what I
So
mean?
that's
Like,
that's why I'm asking. I love you, but are you just, is that just like your thing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, are you just secretly waiting for somebody to cheat so you can be like, oh, good, thank God, now I can go get my
Um,
lick back.
I'm honestly no. Like
Okay.
I'm not even thinking about cheating. Like until, because I'm like, oh, that's what we doing. Okay, I could do the same thing, but like I said, the older I get and in therapy with my therapist and my DM therapy with you, I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
like, are you really getting revenge, girl? Because at the end of the day, if he don't know that you cheated, you're not
I
your own.
mean, but they know though.
You think so?
I, it's hard to, like, in that situation you were talking about. I think it's hard to have done that to a person and then not expect the same to be done to you. Like,
That's my
like
point.
deep
Like you're
down, like, you
tripping.
know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I feel like, so even if they don't know in their heart of hearts, they are always like projecting it, or like
Mhm.
forever suspicious after that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's I've had a lot of people. So this is why I do feel like I've been cheated on before. But I've had a lot of people accuse me, but they're really just projecting their own kind of feelings onto me. Like, well, you can't be. And I know a lot of people. I have a lot of friends. Like, I feel like as I got old, I used to think that monogamy was just sound. Like, you know what I mean? It was just a sound concept. Like, oh, people grow up and get married and then they just love each other forever. And once I became an adult, I just the veil was pulled back, and I'm just like, so many people cheat on each other. Like, it's so much cheating in the world. Like, people that I love and respect and whatever, they be like, yeah, man, I was with so and so, or I mean, whatever. And I'm like I said, I don't really have that. I don't have that desire, mostly, or I have the and I'm not trying to like put myself up as a whatever, like a Boy Scout or whatever, but I just don't be having a desire to go out, because I feel like how you feel. Oh, like, that's too much work.
Yeah.
So, and like I can only handle one thing. I feel like I can only handle one thing at a time, like one relationship at a time. I will say this though, too, in defense of cheaters, it's hard when people be like throwing themselves at you,
In
like,
defense of
you know what I mean?
cheaters.
It's like, I say I never cheated, but I also feel like I've never been presented with an undeniable situation. Like, you know what I mean? I'm trying to think of somebody that I like. Like, if I was in a relationship and Janelle Monáe was in my DM, like, I don't know what I would do. Like, I would have to consult my significant other. Babe, what do I do? Because this is out of control. You know what I mean? So I don't know. But that would have to be a conversation. How do you feel about the hall pass? How do you feel about the hall pass?
um, I think I would be okay. I'm more of a, you gotta tell me up front
Mm-hmm.
person. Like you can't do something to me, and it's anything, cheating,
Yeah.
lying. You can't do it and then come back on the back and say sorry. I can't. I never can get past that.
Yeah.
I have a hard time. If you come to me up front and say, I met somebody. She keep coming. We work together. She keep coming on to me, and I know I'm
Mm-hmm.
attracted to her. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like even if you're not directly asking me for a hall pass, but we have the conversation, and we could talk about it. I would feel better than I found out that you went out on a date with somebody at your job. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm sitting here thinking I'm at home, putting rose petals on the bed for us, thinking that we in love. You like, you know what I mean? Like, we can have that conversation. Maybe it's time for us to, spend some time apart. Maybe we could do counseling or anything
Yeah. Just
rather than
give you
doing that.
give
You didn't give me the option
right
to be
to
a part of this. And I think for me, and I usually tell people up front, but people don't believe me. certain things I tell people from the rip. Like once we
Mm-hmm.
decide to be in a relationship, do not cheat on me, and don't ever like make me look crazy in front of somebody else. Meaning like don't have me in a room full of people that know something that I don't know that I'm supposed to
Everybody
do.
know. Yeah, everybody
Right.
knowing you
Don't
don't
ever
know.
do
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell me, listen, before we go in there, the girl in there, I used to mess with her or just
Yeah.
something. Don't ever have me on the blind side. Um, but people don't believe, like, if you cheat on me, I'm going to cheat back. And I don't necessarily, I tell people that from the door. I really do. People think I'm playing. And I'll
Nah.
never actually come out and say, hey, I cheated back. But you got to know, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that has a lot
That's
to
so
do with,
funny.
my, trauma and self-esteem issues. Because it's like,
Mm-hmm.
now I feel like you're kind of directly attacking me. Like you don't like me, you don't think I'm pretty, you're not attracted to me. So then me going out and cheating or finding that person is like confirming within myself that I am attractive, I am pretty, and that I am,
Right.
So and then that kind of makes me feel better.
Yeah, but
So
so then my issue though, and you know this already, but my issue though then is after that has happened and you got to look back because correct me if I'm wrong, but you don't stop cheating after that. After the first cheat. Like meaning like they
right.
cheat, you cheat, and you won't stop cheating. Like so you're like, yeah, no, that's accurate.
I'm not
But
confirming or denying that. All I'm
no, no,
saying
yeah,
is
no. I mean, hypothetically, uh,
hypothetically.
yeah, you would not stop cheating until there was nobody left on the earth.
Oh
No,
my
no.
god.
But so why then stay loyal? Stay loyal to the relationship. Why not just leave out?
I guess because now, like, and this is going to take us to a whole nother topic because we talked about
Mm-hmm.
this before. With me,
Mm-hmm.
like, you cannot not like me.
Yeah,
So I guess I'm waiting for you to show me that what I
yeah,
am not getting. So then I could be like, all right, I'm out. And if I'm not getting it and you're still acting like you don't like me, I don't know. I have to stick around. I don't know what that is or
yeah. No,
what
I
that
get
thing
that.
is, but it's like
Mm-hmm.
you can't not like me because
Yeah.
I don't know if it brings back memories or whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm still cheating because those people are giving me the attention that I
Yeah,
want
the
that they're
immediate.
not giving
Uh-huh.
me.
Yeah,
But I still want you to give it to me because
yeah.
how dare you not give it to me? So that's what I'm saying.
So you'll wait until they give that to you again,
Unless they
basically.
say, but they don't, people don't, I haven't had anybody actually come right out and say, hey, I'm not interested in you anymore, hey, I don't want this relationship anymore. They're
Right.
always saying, I still want you, I still care about you, I still love you, blah blah
Right.
blah, even though their actions aren't saying that. So I guess I'm trying to wait for their actions to line up so I could believe
Match
it.
what they.
Since I don't
Yeah.
believe it, and I know these men just don't, but
Yeah.
they're acting like they do. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just over here, I guess, waiting for you too. I mean, it took a long time, but eventually I was like, whatever. You don't. Um, like I said, I think that just has a lot. That has, like we were saying earlier about cheating. I think that has more to do with me and
Yeah.
less to do with them and what even actually has happened or transpired in a relationship. It has more to do with just me and how I am and less to do with the fact that they cheated. But I don't usually just go out and cheat, even if I'm unhappy. I
Yeah.
won't go out and cheat. I'll still be trying to fix
Right.
what it is. Even when I got cheated on most recently, I went and tried to, like the girl, she like wore the long weaves and the nails and the makeup and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I went out and was like, okay. I
I could do
started
that.
getting the nails and the makeup
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff, and trying to make sure I always have my hair down, like not out in the
Mm-hmm.
ponytails.
Right.
Trying to like, okay, is that what you
To
want? Is
match
that
that work.
am I
Yeah.
not doing something? Do you want me to start dressing like this? And it still didn't work. So I
Right.
do all of that first.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I did cheat back, but then Like I immediately took it back, but then I tried to do it at first, and then
I
I
did
was
cheat real quick. I love because it feels like it's like we're saying cheat, but it sounds like something very small or trivial, like um I don't know, like go out to eat or something. I did cheat real quick, but then you know what I'm saying I came right back. It's like it feels like it doesn't have as much weight as it is, but it's so much. It's so
but
much.
it does have a lot of weight, and it's a big
Yeah,
deal.
yeah.
If you aren't a cheater, like if you didn't cheat on anybody and somebody cheated on you, it's a big deal. Like
Right.
it wasn't like that night I went back and cheated. It was
Mm-hmm.
fast, but I was such. You talk about being blindsided. Like I was
Yeah.
totally like in disbelief to the point where I'm telling her like I don't believe you. Like I need video or audio evidence.
Mm.
I don't even want to see a text message. Like I could not believe it. So once it hit me like, oh damn, I was like, oh no. So I don't know, but I think everybody has different definitions of cheating. But like you said, people don't sit and have the conversation. So when you say go outside the agreement, most people don't even have a freaking agreement.
Yeah, they're just assuming that this is what it is, which is a terrible way to have a relationship. It's a
So how
terrible
do
way
you
to.
do that? Like, hey, listen, don't do this, don't do that. Like, how do you?
No, it's not. It's not about don't do. It's about this is what I. This is what either how I have moved in relationships historically, or this is what I'd like to see in my relationship. Like, you know what I mean? Not like it's not like you can't cheat, you can't this. It's saying like, you know, like I said, with the with that one person that I was talking about, the wildling. I hope she knows who she is when she listens to it, but I think she will. But we had our we kind of spoke about what you know what she wanted, you know what I mean, and she didn't even all the way know at the time, like, you know what I mean, but I wasn't going to make different assumptions more than what she was saying, like, you know what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like more than what she was giving me. So I was just like, okay, well, I know these things, so I'm not going to assume that now you just trying to be monogamous. Now you're trying to be, you know, whatever. I'm going to more so assume, and it's still making assumptions, but I'm so going to assume that you're going to continue on with life the way that you know it and whatever. But I think the adult thing to do, and if you are actually really trying to give yourself a chance in your relationship, a chance, you should be like, hey, you know, we should talk about what we'd like to see or like to get out of this relationship. And I don't think you can approach that. I don't think you can approach a relationship in that way and it sound bad. Now, what you might say might sound bad or might, but this is the thing about relationships. Now, you know, expert or whatever, but I feel like a lot of times we don't get past the like connection and attraction phase onto the part that we're talking about, where it's like, all right, I think you're attractive, I like when we hang out, but how are you in life? Like, you know what I'm saying? And that is the part where this conversation, you know, we call it the DTR, you know what I mean, the determine a relationship. And it's like, hey, this is what I like to see, because people are afraid to do that. People are afraid to be like, hey, I like this thing sexually. Hey, I like to be, you know, I'm not going to be I don't want to be monogamous, because you are afraid that you know somebody's not going to gel with that. But one of the ultimate acts of love is giving, like you said, giving somebody the opportunity to choose for themselves whether or not they want to do that. And I implore anybody that's listening to do that, because if not, you're gonna end up like all of these situations that's going on. Like, you know
But
what I
you'd be
mean?
surprised though. Somebody you
You might
might
be surprised. They'd be like, "Oh my god, I'm so glad you said that." Like, you know,
yes.
because I was feeling that too. You know? Also, I like dudes. It's like, you know, whatever it is. You know? And you're like, hold on. But you know, you have to give, and it is. I think it's an act of love to kind of put yourself out there and air yourself to that person, and then to give them an opportunity to say, "Oh, I'm not with that," and then y'all can just kind of separate, as opposed to finding out way later. Like, you know, I used to be really in the church, and I used to love having conversations, especially in like college. I would have conversations with, and this is actually a little bit, it might be a little bit dicey now to even talk about, but uh, I used to talk to my friends about like, oh, they, you know, because my Christian friends is like, marriage is forever. When you want you to take them vows, it's this and it's that and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, I would always say like, all right, so you married for 10 years, and then one morning your husband comes downstairs in a full dress and earrings and makeup and whatever, you know what I'm saying? And that's a part of it anyway, because that might just happen. As it was a show, I can't think of what that show was called, but it was a really popular show for a little while. Say it in the comments. But it was, and the guy just did that. It was funny because that's like 20 years after I would have
I
these
feel like I
conversations with
saw
people.
that though.
Yeah, it's called. Yeah, I can't think of it. But yeah, but like, what do you do then? And they were like, well, we just have to go to counseling. And I'm like, and nowadays, it's not necessarily about meaning say they would go to counseling to kind of quote unquote fix that person's ideology. But nowadays we know that, you know what I'm saying, people are awakening to themselves all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, listen, at that moment, you have to decide, oh, this ain't for me, or this ain't, you know what I'm saying, or, you know, I'm gonna stick with it. Because what does that mean? What does that mean that you're wearing this thing? What does that mean that you're, you know, but I feel like a lot of times the signs are there before you get into a 20-year marriage. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know, it's a very interesting thing, but I think that you can or you should love a person enough, or you're already talking about getting into a relationship, so you should open or be vulnerable enough. That's what I'm trying to say. Be vulnerable enough to say like, hey, these are the things that I bang with, and you know, these are the things that, you know, I kind of run up against when, or these are the things that have happened to me in previous relationships that did not, you know, that triggered me, or you know, or so if you move in this way, or if I start moving in this way, you know, that you can tell that something's up. Like, you know what I mean? So you need to know, but that's a that's a deeper thing, because people don't know things about themselves. Like, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. All I know is, you know what I'm saying, you know, you look good, and I like talking on the phone to you,
Not you look
and
good.
yeah, yeah. No, I mean, that's what a lot of it is. It's not anything more than that first level of attraction. Like, you know what I mean, oh, we could talk on the phone for a couple hours, you know what I'm saying, and I'm attracted to you, and that's the basis for a relationship. And it's not, like, you know, like, there's so many other tiers and levels to it. And, you know, even if you want to go into session, it's like, okay, that could be one, and then the next one is the conversation that we're talking about, then the next thing is, you know, your sexual proclivities and habits and things like that, and then the next, whatever thing, as you get more vulnerable, you should be opening up yourself to those things in order to um make sure you're having the experience that you want to have. Because if not, all you're doing is holding stuff in. And then, of course, when somebody else comes along that already has some of those traits, like, you know what I'm saying, then you're gonna be drawn to that thing. as opposed to, or, it seems like, or once you have exhausted the, once you've exhausted the, that attraction and connection part that happens to most people when you meet somebody new, then what are you going to do? You're going to seek out attraction and connection with somebody new. And that makes sense. Like, what I mean? That is logical. So it's like, and people will be like, oh, that's why people aren't supposed to be monogamous. No, that is to me, that's a cop out. Really what's happening is you have not been open enough and vulnerable enough and expressive enough to say, this is who I am and this is what I like. So you end up pulling a rug under somebody later on when you find, or when you find out that you cannot live without the thing that you've been suppressing this whole time.
Mm-hmm. I know, I agree though. I think a lot of times people, like you said, with the with the husband in the dress, there are signs.
Yeah,
there are signs. I think you had the long conversations, or the person's so attractive, so then you kind of ignore the signs, because at the end, when it's all over, you start looking back like, yeah, well, you start to see those signs again. The same signs that you ignore in the beginning are usually the signs that cause you to end the relationship in the end. So I don't know. My last thought is just, if you just be upfront, like you said, and if things change when you're with people for a long time, you start getting into the 4, 5, 6, 7 year mark. People change. You're getting older. Life starts happening to you. So the things that you might have wanted when you were 20, now you're 40. You may not want those things. You may not like those things. So instead of just you see somebody new and it's exciting and all of that, you need to say something beforehand, so that your wife or your husband or your significant other can agree, or say, well, no, let's just do something different. I think it's so unfair to force me. You're basically trying to force somebody into being okay with something, and I think that's crazy.
Yeah, the show is called Transparent. Transparent, which is, I don't know, I guess that's okay. Like, I want to be like insensitive or whatever, but the show was called Transparent. I feel like it was really popular for a while, at least, because I think at the time, at least, it was groundbreaking. Like, what I mean, like, oh shoot, but I think, yeah, and I agree. Like, you have to give people the opportunity to say. It's funny because I saw this meme. I don't know if I sent it to you, but it was like, should marriage licenses end in like 10 years like other licenses do, and then you got to renew it like, what I'm saying, like you do anything else. And that makes sense to me. It's crazy
every year.
Yeah, like you just gotta go, and you gotta, and if you choose not to do it anymore, like, I mean, it's a way to broach the subject. You don't have to be like, and it's very, it's very like clinical or legal, what I mean, which takes kind of the lovey-dovey kind of nuance out of it. But I don't know. I don't know if that's not the way that things are going to be going soon, because that's how them rich folk be, man. Like, I feel like so many more people would be married if they had money and could make any decision, just make decisions. Because if you notice, I don't know if this is true or not. So this is just the end trail off, but it's like, I feel like people that have money get married quick. Like, oh, I've known this person for like 3 months, and because they don't have the barrier of thinking like, oh, how am I going to support this person, or, oh, what am I going to do after I've made this bad choice? Like, what I'm saying. So they just be like, oh, let's just get married. So they get so excited, what I mean. But I feel like if you had to renew your license, I wonder how many marriages would like end after the first cycle if you just had to renew every 5 years. Like, what I mean, I think that's a dope story idea. We should write that. Like, I mean, the marriage license. It's like futuristic, kind of like sci-fi. Like, and like how people be like, because like I said, I'm not confrontational. So how long how long would a person like me stay in a marriage
You gotta
if
wait until
if
your license.
I know, but if I knew that 5 year mark was coming, I'd be like, oh yes, I'm not going back into this. Like, I'm not going back into this partnership after 5 years. And you can just dip, and it's not, maybe that's just
You
the
gotta write the
sus
story. You gotta
the
move
sus
out.
way to get out of it. But that's what I'm
After
saying. Like,
5 years,
yeah.
everybody gotta move out. Y'all gotta
Hmm.
go to
You
court
gotta
and
you get an arbitrator, you know what I'm saying,
yeah.
and figure it out, and and then you just get the letter. It's like, oh yeah, Jane says she didn't want to keep going, so this
She
is
said she don't
how.
want to keep going.
Yeah,
She
she
said,
chose not to move forward with the relationship. So we've split your stuff up and evenly, and through Chat GPT, and and that's it. Good luck to you, sir. And
well, that will help with not being confrontational because they're
that's,
basically breaking up for you.
that's what I'm saying. It's just like it's like, hey, listen, this was great. She said that you were awesome. That 5 years is great, but she wants to move on, and we thwart all this cheating stuff. Like, half the people wouldn't be cheating no more neither. I don't know. That's all I got. An hour later. But yeah, I gotta go answer 700 more Instagram
Um,
comments about why I'm so wrong. But
you better
yeah,
start
man.
you need to go on there and comment from your music page.
I know I should have did that in the beginning. I don't know how to pimp the system, man. It's I'll learn one day, and then I'll just say something.
You gotta go from your music page and be like, I actually agree with him.
No, but it's all the same name. So that I'll just look like a crazy person. Free Presley music
Actually,
agrees with free press. That's a coincidence. Yeah, nah. But it's man, these blue checks, man. I swear, it's a very interesting uh game that we're playing right now. It's just like what you were saying before, though, about like, I don't know if I would have gotten a lot of the pushback that I received if I had one of them checks. Like, what I mean? So it's a very, very interesting time we're living in. But it's just like, you cannot disagree. We got to talk about that one day too. Like, why it's not okay to just disagree, and that's just the end of it. Like, what I mean? We just disagree. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
that's the end. Because people take your disagreement as a personal attack.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you don't think the way they think, is like, well, you must hate me in my life and everything I stand for. Not particularly. Let it be about the dumb, like the smallest stuff. Like,
yeah.
So yeah. All right, man. Well, this has been fun. We finally did one of the the salacious episode. Like, this is the ones that be all over the social media. Cheating. Would you I still feel like it was relatively PG, but since it's interesting. What shit you gotta did you do a tagline yet? What's your ending line?
Oh.
If they cheat
I'm
back.
cheating back. No, they cheat, leave. Leave the first time.
Yeah, just what I'm saying, it's all right. It just didn't work out. That's fine.
But if they cheat back and then leave.
Oh, okay. Make sure you get your cheat back in before you leave out. And if you need some instructions, hypothetically, hit up Khadijah in the DM, because she be knowing how she hypothetically know how to cheat back.
Hypothetically. Right. Allegedly.
Allegedly be cheating. She'll cheat. You ain't gonna out cheat Khadijah.